I'm very excited to talk to you, man. Congrats on the new album, man. Dark Side of the Road. Really
Thanks, dude.
amazing. We'll be getting into that in a little bit, though. But here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I wonder where your passion
Mhm.
music came from that led you on this amazing musical journey. Was it a certain album you heard, a certain live performance, or something that was just natural for you as a child?
Supernatural as a kid. I grew up with like MTV, like I grew up at like the MTV era of stuff where it was like the 80s, and all the music videos were crazy and like, you get home from school or whatever and you just like sit in front of the television and watch MTV and like Van Halen and stuff like that. Just, like so that type of stuff was always like that looks like fun to me.
Absolutely. Well, cool, man. Well, let's get into the album. It's available everywhere now. Your single "Falling Down." What amazing song. So let's talk about the
Thanks, man.
writing process of that before we get into the art that is the music video. So
Yeah. So Falling Down is crazy. This whole record, it was reviewed recently, and somebody said that the whole record kind of has a lot of like somber subject matter.
yeah.
It's kind of a heavy record emotionally, and that song Falling Down kind of came out of me getting out of a relationship, a marriage, and it's like that thing, where like you've been with somebody for so long, you love someone so much, and you're like splitting up, and you miss this person so much that it kind of feels like a drug. You're just like, like I know that this is bad for me, but I want this, but also like it could be good, right? And you have this like
Yeah.
romantic idea, and like nothing really lines up with the reality of things. So you're on this decline, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Is kind of where that comes from.
Absolutely. The music video, I mean, what a masterpiece, man. I mean, I really think you should submit it to like I know a lot of like film festivals has like a music video category. I really feel like I could win a lot of awards. It's that good, you know?
Brad, yeah, yeah. I should take that advice. We totally should. So the director Borja Pena Gorostegui and I have been working together for a while. We did a
Okay.
film called Dark Side of the Road a year ago.
Oh,
And that
really?
was sort of yeah, it was like a live version of all the songs that are on the record, or a bunch of the songs that are on the record.
Hmm.
And it's really cool. It's a really dark film, and talking about, somber and dark subject matter. At the time we shot the film, I was still uh just daily drinking and using drugs and all sorts of stuff. I was just in a gnarly dark place when I was writing this record.
Hmm.
And we did the film, and we worked together really well, even though I was sort of half present during the whole
Yeah.
process. And when we got to doing stuff like the music video for the record itself, we obviously were working together, and I'm a sober person now, so it kind of got my wits about me, and we were like, okay, well, let's figure out these concepts, and we wanted to do big, epic shots. Like for the film, we did all one take. And so we were like, well, let's do this like a music
Okay.
video, but let's just do like all one take and like set some stuff up. So
Mhm.
yeah, falling down was crazy. That was in a dirty alley downtown, and we just like we set up the guitar, we set up the
Like,
bicycle. We were dealing with people that were like trying to steal stuff while we were filming. We're like, hey dude, like that's our bike, you like
that's
please don't
very
take that.
LA.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny, before I left in the morning, he calls me, he's like, hey man, do you have any cash? I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, can you bring like $100 down here in like 20s? We might have to like pay off some people to like leave the area.
Oh,
Like there's a
wow.
lot of yeah, he's like, there's a lot of stuff going down right now. So we might need to bring some cash. And I was like, Got you, dude. All right, I'll be there in 10 minutes, you know, like not
That's
funny.
awesome. Well, it came out
Yeah.
great, so I'm glad you had to pay off some people to move.
Yeah, thanks. We actually ended up not, you know, it was funny. Once you tell people like, hey, we're gonna shoot a music video right now, they're like, oh no, like we're doing sketchy shit. Like we need to get out of here, you know. So like everybody sort of
Oh,
scattered.
gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, I'll go with some other favorite tracks from the album. The first one, Obituary. I mean, I'm saving up from my obituary. I think it was like learning how to smile or something like that. Like, wow, that really, really
Yeah.
got me. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
No, it was faking my smile. Yeah.
Oh, fake it. Ah, there you go.
Yeah, a counterfeit that's been dragged for miles. Yeah, Obituary is a
Poetry.
gnarly song.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
Great
thanks.
way to start off the
Yeah,
album, you know?
yeah, thanks. That was kind of the debate. We're like, okay, you know, is this we're like this is probably the heaviest song I've written. And like let's just start it off like this, you know, like let's kind of set the mood for the whole thing. And like I said, I wasn't in a good place for a while, you know, and um it's been really interesting to touch on that in such a direct way because I feel like in this time frame that we're dealing with, you know, everybody's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
We're putting a lot of emphasis on the surface level of things, and I kind of pride myself on being as real as possible. And I figure if I'm feeling this way, you know, other people are definitely, you know, possibly feeling this way as
Oh,
well. And like, let's
absolutely.
call a spade, you know.
Hmm.
So it it definitely took a lot of courage to put that song out because it's a suicide note, you know, in
Yeah.
song form. Um, and at the time that I wrote it, really I wasn't feeling like my best self at all, and I wasn't feeling like anything that I was doing was aligned with what I felt I really should be, you know, and I sort of felt stuck in the place in life that I was at,
Yeah.
and I was like, there, like I've tried everything that I possibly can, um, to get out of this like rut, and it wasn't working, and I was numbing myself day in and day out. Like I always used to joke about it, which is a thing that a lot of people do when they're like suffering, you know, like turn suffering into like a joke.
Yeah.
But like I would wake up and I would take 2 shots of whiskey right in the morning. I would say, oh, just like one for each hand, you know, to get rid of the shakes. And like that's how I would start every day, you know, and then like whiskey and the coffee. And like, you know, I started just yeah, I was just like walking around with a bottle while I'm getting ready for work, you know, and like, all right, cool. And then like make sure I got my flask full on my way to work and like all this stuff, you know, and it was just like it was a terrible place to be. I didn't really see a way out. And I was like, man, I've had so many friends that have committed suicide,
Yeah.
and it sucks to be on the other end of that, you know. I'm like, you know, but I started to get jealous. I was like, dude, I was like, you guys, like, what, you know, why do you guys get to, you know, why do you guys get to take a break? You know,
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
sucks.
I
I gotta go
understand
through
that
this
pain, my
shit.
friend. I've been there,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So
It seems
like,
like you're
man,
in
I
a
gotta
good
wake
place
up.
though now. I guess sobering up and has been helping you, you know.
Totally, you know, and it was a thing where like kind of once I got sober, because I saw the path, you know, I was like, you know, like my name is on the list of people that are gonna go at this point, and I was hoping for it daily, and this is an awful place to be, you know, and I was like, I was like, man, like something's gotta change, you know, and so I got sober, and at that point, as you know, my mind started to get clearer. I was like, man, like there are so many things that need to get fixed about what's happening here. And so one by one, I just started like knocking out little tasks and being like, cool, like what does this make me miserable? Yes. Like, let's get rid of it, you know, like and kind of started once you get rid of bad things in your life,
Which is hard to do,
you know,
you
good things.
know. It's kind of addicting at the
What's
same
that?
time. It's hard to do.
Yeah,
Some people
totally.
know it's kind of addicting, you know.
Yeah, you know, and it's crazy too, because like now, I laugh about it a lot because it's like every morning I wake up and like I do yoga and then I work out and then I meditate and read and write
Mhm.
and like play music and all this stuff. And it's like that's my like daily routine where it's like I used to wake up and take 2 shots of whiskey, you know, and now it's like, oh, I wake up and like do yoga. You know, like what the
That's
hell?
awesome, man. No, yoga, meditation, I mean, therapy for me has helped a lot, you know? Getting into a
Yeah,
routine, I think, helps. I was saying for anyone watching this, you know, it's where your mind's kind of focused on things, you don't focus on the negative aspects of your life.
yeah. And getting into like, you know, personal development, it's funny like that those words sort of have like this connotation of like, oh, it's just personal development. Like, you know, it
Mm.
kind of seems sappy to a handful of people, but it's like, well, you're literally every single day you're becoming a better version of yourself. And I think that's like a good way to put it, you know, and a good thing to try to do every single day. So,
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you took this pain and put it into art form of its music because it's like I said, I can't
thanks.
say how amazing this album is. Another track I want to get into is Port to Port. Beautiful song. I love the strings you added to it also. I guess talk about writing and recording that one, you know.
Yeah, Port to Port was great. It's one of the songs that I arrived at with Kevin Besignano, who produced the record with me. He's a Berkeley cat. He's amazing. He can literally pick up any instrument and just play it, and amazing things will come out of it, you know. And I arrived at the studio. We've been friends for you know, almost 20 years now, and this is the first time we've worked together. I arrived at the studio with the songs and was like, what do you think, you know? And he's like, cool. He's like, well, let's like treat these as much as possible, you know, with what we can. And it was a hard line to sort of figure out where, you know, like the string's going to be too much here, you know, our piano too much here, but like it's also like let's add some bass to give it like somewhere to sit, you know, like in the auditory like spectrum. And yeah, it came out really great, man. Like to add all those elements to it really opened up the sound a lot. So it's really cool. I really like that song a lot.
Cool. Anything else in the works, like new music videos, or I mean,
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing a music video for Obituary. We're
oh,
gonna do a music
awesome!
video.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a crazy one shot video that we're working on. We have another one shot for Dark Side of the Road that's planned as well. And
Mhm.
then one thing that's really cool is, you know, the songs are bigger than what I can just do live with an acoustic. So we've formulated a band around me, which is really great. And we've kind of turned the corner of making everything just like going from acoustic to electric at this point.
Ooh.
Um, and so now we're going to be, you know, it'll be a full band on October 25th. We did a full band at the release show, and we plan to take some of these songs off of the record and just to showcase what we're doing as a full band. Like for songs like Port to Port, you know, it's a totally different animal with a full band behind us or behind me.
Cool. I love that.
And so we're gonna do some recordings of a few of the songs off the record and sort of showcase that, you know, just to kind of put that out there. So
Cool. Awesome. I can't wait to hear that. Well, everyone, I'm gonna have all your social media links down below. Check it out, subscribe, follow, like, all that good stuff. And thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me. Let's talk down the road when you got new music coming out, you know?
yeah, for sure. It'll be a few months actually. So
Awesome, man. All right, everyone, check out Dark Side of the Road out now in the meantime, and keep up the amazing work, my friend.
thank you, sir. I will see you soon.